Clutter can creep into any home, no matter how clean or organized you try to keep it. As we age, it's easy for our spaces to accumulate items, whether it's sentimental keepsakes, everyday essentials, or things we've simply forgotten about. But too much clutter can make your home feel cramped, chaotic, and even unsafe. The good news is that small adjustments can create a big difference, transforming your home into a tidy, relaxing haven. In this video, we'll uncover 10 things that might be making your home look cluttered as a senior. These aren't major messes or glaring issues. In fact, you may not even realize they're contributing to a cluttered look. By identifying these common culprits and addressing them with simple fixes, you can create a home that feels more open, organized, and peaceful. Whether it's rearranging furniture, rethinking storage solutions, or letting go of unused items, these tips are designed to be practical and achievable for anyone. If you're ready to make your home a more inviting and comfortable space, stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more advice on creating a clutter-free, stress-free home. Let's get started on the journey to a more peaceful living space. Clutter is something we all deal with, but as we age, it can become more challenging to manage. Over time, our homes fill with memories, keepsakes, and practical items that have served us well. While these things hold meaning, they can sometimes create a sense of disorganization that makes our spaces feel more cramped than they actually are. For seniors, clutter isn't just about aesthetics. It can impact with distraction and peace of mind. Let's take the example of Margaret. At 72, Margaret realized her home felt less relaxing than it used to, even though she cleaned regularly. Her countertops were filled with appliances she rarely used. Her living room was crowded with furniture she no longer needed, and her shelves were packed with knickknacks that collected dust. Though she loved her home, it had begun to feel overwhelming. What Margaret didn't realize at first was that many of the items in her home weren't adding to her happiness. They were detracting from it. With a few simple adjustments, she was able to create a space that felt open, organized, and welcoming again. And there are several reasons why clutter becomes more noticeable as we get older. Sentimental attachments. Over the years, we accumulate gifts, mementos, and family heirlooms that are difficult to part with because of their emotional significance. Mobility changes. Limited mobility can make regular tidying and organizing more difficult, causing items to pile up in places they don't belong. Downsizing. Moving to a smaller home or retirement community often means trying to fit years' worth of belongings into a more compact space. 6.08 Everyday essentials, items we use daily, like mail, medications, or reading glasses, can easily become clutter if they don't have a designated spot. Understanding these factors is the first step toward addressing clutter. By identifying the specific challenges you face in your home, you can start making targeted changes to improve your space. Decluttering isn't just about appearances. It's about creating a safer, more enjoyable environment. Here's how it can make a difference. Safety. A clutter-free home reduces tripping hazards and makes it easier to move around safely. Ease of cleaning. Fewer items mean less dust and fewer surfaces to clean, which saves time and effort. Emotional well-being. An organized space promotes relaxation, reduces stress, and helps you feel more in control of your surroundings. Now that we've explored why clutter is a common challenge and how it impacts your home, it's time to dive into the specifics. In the next segment, we'll uncover the first 5 things that might be making your home look cluttered and provide simple, practical tips to address them. If this resonates with you, take a moment to think about one area in your home that feels cluttered. What would it mean to reclaim that space? Let's continue this journey together. Your clutter-free home is within reach. Share Jordan's story with the hope that it can spark some daylight for you and encourage you to take control. Now that we've explored the impact clutter can have on your home and well-being, let's dive into the first 5 culprits that might be making your space feel disorganized. These common issues often sneak up on us, but with simple fixes, you can reclaim your home's comfort and charm. Number 1. Overcrowded surfaces. One of the easiest ways for a home to look cluttered is when countertops, tables, and other flat surfaces are covered in items. These might include appliances you rarely use, stacks of mail, decorative objects, or everyday essentials like keys and glasses. While these items might be functional or sentimental, too many of them can create visual chaos. Take Margaret's story. Her kitchen counters were cluttered with a toaster, a blender, and a bread maker she hadn't used in years. By storing the blender and bread maker in a cabinet and keeping only her most used appliance, the toaster, on the counter, she instantly created a cleaner, more open look. The same strategy worked for her coffee table, which she cleared of magazines and replaced with a simple vase of fresh flowers. Actionable tip: limit surfaces to 1 or 2 key items. For example, keep your countertops clear except for the appliances or objects you use daily. Use decorative trays or baskets to group small items like remote controls or mail, keeping them organized and contained. Number 2. Unused or outdated furniture. Furniture that no longer serves a purpose can make a room feel cramped and cluttered. This might include old chairs, side tables, or storage units that have become more of a hindrance than a help. Sometimes, we hold on to furniture out of habit or nostalgia, but if it's no longer useful, it may be time to let it go. John, at 74, had a living room crowded with mismatched chairs he rarely used. By donating 2 of them to a local charity and rearranging the remaining furniture to create a more open layout, his space immediately felt larger and more inviting. Actionable: evaluate each piece of furniture in your home. Ask yourself, does it serve a purpose? Does it fit the space? If you're unsure about letting go of something, move it to another room or storage for a few weeks to see if you miss it. Number 3. Too many decorative items. Knickknacks, photo frames, and other decorative items can quickly make a space feel cluttered, even if it's clean. While these items often hold sentimental value, displaying too many at once can overwhelm a room. Let's consider Helen's story. Her mantelpiece was lined with over a dozen family photos, figurines, and souvenirs from past vacations. By selecting just 3 meaningful pieces, a favorite family photo, a small vase, and a keepsake from her travels, Helen was able to create a more balanced and visually pleasing display. Actionable tip: rotate decorative items seasonally to keep your space fresh and uncluttered. Choose a few key pieces that truly bring you joy and store the rest in a keepsake box or other safe place. Number 4. Piles of paper. Mail, newspapers, magazines, and old documents are one of the biggest sources of clutter in any home. Without a system for managing paper, it can quickly take over countertops, desks, and tables. Betty, at 78, used to struggle with stacks of mail and magazines on her kitchen table. She decided to create a paper management system, a small wall-mount organizer for incoming mail, a recycling bin for old newspapers, and a rule to discard junk mail immediately. This simple system helped her keep her home free of paper clutter. Actionable tip: sort your mail as soon as it arrives, keep important documents, discard junk, and recycle newspapers or magazines you've already read. Invest in a small filing system or organizer to keep important papers neat and accessible. Number 5. Outdated or unused clothing. Closets are often a hidden source of clutter, filled with clothes we no longer wear or need. These items can spill over into other areas of the home, making spaces feel disorganized. Whether it's treasuring a cluttered fridge or getting a bathroom from the rain. Tom, at 76, found his guest room closet packed with clothes he hadn't worn in years. By sorting through his wardrobe and donating what no longer fit or suited him, he freed up space and was able to store other items more efficiently. His closet went from a source of stress to a functional and organized space. Go through your wardrobe and ask yourself, have I worn this in the past year? Does it fit? Do I still love it? Donate gently used items to charity, or pass them along to friends or family members who might need them. These first 5 clutter culprits: overcrowded surfaces, unused furniture, excessive decorative items, piles of paper, and outdated clothing, may seem minor, but they have a significant impact on how your home looks and feels. By tackling these areas, you can create a space that feels more open, organized, and enjoyable to live in. Now that we've addressed the first 5 clutter culprits, it's time to move on to the remaining 5 in the next segment. Each one is just as impactful, and together, they'll help you transform your home into a clutter-free haven. Take a moment to look around your space. Which of these 5 areas resonates most with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what steps you're planning to take. And don't forget to stay tuned for the next segment, where we'll dive into the final 5 clutter culprits and how to tackle them. Let's continue this journey together. In the previous segment, we explored 5 common clutter culprits that can make your home feel cramped and disorganized. Now, let's dive into the final 5 culprits. These often overlooked issues can subtly impact the look and feel of your home, but with a few small adjustments, you can reclaim your space and enjoy a more serene and functional environment. Number 6. Overfilled storage spaces. Closets, cabinets, and drawers are meant to keep items out of sight and organized, but when they're overfilled, they can make daily life more frustrating. Overflowing storage spaces not only make it difficult to find what you need, but also lead to items spilling into other areas of your home. Take Helen's story. At 75, she realized her linen closet was stuffed with old sheets, towels, and blankets she hadn't used in years. Each time she opened the door, items would tumble out. By going through the closet and donating or discarding what she no longer needed, she created space for her essentials and found joy in how easy it was to grab fresh linens. actionable tip. Declutter one storage area at a time, focusing on items you no longer use or need. Use bins or dividers to keep items neatly separated. Adopt a one-in, one-out rule. If you bring something new into a storage space, remove an old item. Number 7, excessive cables and electronics. In today's digital age, many homes are filled with outdated electronics, chargers, and tangled cables. These items not only take up space, but can also create visual clutter that makes your home look less tidy. John, at 78, had a drawer overflowing with old phone chargers, remotes, and devices he no longer used. After sorting through everything, he kept only the essentials and used cord organizers to neatly store the cables he needed. The result was a cleaner, more organized space that felt much less chaotic. Actionable tip: sort through electronics and cables, discarding or recycling anything you no longer use. Use cord organizers, zip ties, or labeled storage bags to keep cables neat and accessible. End quote. Create a designated space for electronics to avoid having them scattered throughout your home. Number 8, multiples of the same item. It's easy to accumulate multiples of the same item over time, whether it's kitchen utensils, cleaning supplies, or even decorative objects. While having a backup or two can be helpful, too many duplicates can create unnecessary clutter. Let's consider Betty's kitchen. At 76, she realized she had 5 spatulas, 3 sets of measuring cups, and more coffee mugs than she could ever use. By keeping only her favorites and donating the rest, she freed up valuable cabinet space and made it easier to find what she needed. Actionable tip: identify items you have in excess and ask yourself how many you truly need. Donate duplicates that are in good condition to someone who can use them. Focus on keeping high-quality items that serve multiple purposes. Number 9, unused hobbies or craft supplies. Hobbies and crafts are a wonderful way to stay creative and engaged, but supplies for activities you no longer pursue can take up a lot of space. Whether it's fabric, yarn, painting supplies, or gardening tools, these items can become clutter if they're no longer being used. Margaret, at 74, loved knitting, but hadn't picked up her needles in years. Her collection of yarn and supplies had taken over an entire closet. After donating what she no longer needed to a local community center, she felt lighter and more organized. She also made room for new activities she was excited to explore. Actionable tip: go through your hobby supplies and decide what you still use and enjoy. Donate unused supplies to local schools, community centers, or charities. Store your active hobby supplies in clear bins or labeled containers for easy access. Number 10, sentimental items without a purpose. Sentimental items like old letters, gifts, or souvenirs often hold emotional value, but too many can create clutter that takes over your space. While it's important to cherish memories, displaying or storing every keepsake can make your home feel overwhelming. Tom, at 80, had shelves filled with knickknacks from family vacations and gifts from loved ones. He realized he didn't need to keep everything to honor the memories attached to them. By selecting a few meaningful pieces to display and storing the rest in a memory box, Tom was able to create a clean, visually pleasing space while still preserving what mattered most. Actionable tip: choose a few sentimental items to display prominently and store the rest in labeled memory boxes. Take photos of items you can't keep but want to remember. Remember, the memories attached to an item are more important than the item itself. The final 5 clutter culprits: overfilled storage spaces, excessive cables and electronics, multiples of the same item, unused hobby supplies, and sentimental items, are all about finding balance. By addressing these areas, you're not just tidying up, you're creating a home that reflects your current lifestyle and brings you joy. Which of these final 5 culprits do you relate to most? Are you ready to tackle your storage spaces, sort through sentimental items, or streamline your electronics? Share your thoughts and progress in the comments. We'd love to hear how these tips are helping you reclaim your space. High five for the food safety tip. If you found this segment helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practical advice on maintaining a clutter-free and comfortable home. Stay tuned for the next segment, where we'll share strategies for creating habits and systems that keep your home organized over time. Let's continue this journey to a simpler, more peaceful living space together. Now that we've identified the top 10 clutter culprits, let's focus on strategies to maintain a clutter-free home over time. Tackling clutter isn't just about one big cleanup. It's about creating habits and systems that make your home a place of comfort, organization, and peace every day. With these practical tips, you can keep your space tidy without feeling overwhelmed. Tip 1. Develop a one-in, one-out rule. Every time you bring something new into your home, commit to letting go of something old. This simple rule helps prevent excess items from piling up and ensures your space remains balanced. Take Margaret's story. At 75, she loved collecting decorative items for her shelves, but found that they quickly made her living room feel cluttered. By adopting the one-in, one-out rule, Margaret started donating or gifting an older item whenever she purchased something new. This allowed her to enjoy her new finds while keeping her home tidy and visually pleasing. Tip: apply this rule to everything, from clothes and kitchen tools to decorative items and electronics. Tip 2. Schedule regular decluttering sessions. Clutter often builds up when we don't regularly assess what we own. By scheduling short decluttering sessions every month or season, you can keep your home organized without the need for major overhauls. John, at 80, set aside the first Saturday of every month to declutter one small area, like a drawer or cabinet. This habit helped him stay on top of clutter and made the process feel manageable. He even looked forward to the fresh, organized feeling that followed each session. Tip: focus on one specific area during each session, such as a closet, drawer, or countertop. Use a timer to limit the session to 20 to 30 minutes, keeping it light and stress-free. Tip 3. Create designated drop zones. Clutter often accumulates in random spots because items don't have designated homes. By creating drop zones for frequently used items like keys, mail, or reading glasses, you can keep surfaces clear and organized. Helen, at 76, struggled with piles of mail on her kitchen counter. By adding a small basket near her entryway for incoming mail and another for outgoing items, she was able to keep her counters clean and her mail organized. Tip: use baskets, trays, or hooks to create drop zones for commonly misplaced items. Tip 4. Learn to let go of sentimental items. Letting go of sentimental items can be difficult, but it's an essential step toward creating a clutter-free home. Remember, you don't have to keep everything to preserve memories. Instead, focus on a few meaningful pieces and find creative ways to honor them. Betty, at 78, decided to take photos of her children's old artwork and stored them digitally. This allowed her to preserve the memories without keeping every physical piece. She also created a scrapbook for her favorite keepsakes, giving them a dedicated place of honor in her home. Tip: ask yourself if an item truly brings you joy or if its memory can be preserved in another way, like a photo or journal entry. Tip 5. Involve loved ones. Clutter doesn't happen in isolation. Sometimes, family members contribute to the mess. Involving loved ones in your decluttering efforts can make the process easier and more enjoyable. Tom, at 79, asked his grandchildren to help sort through old toys and books during their visits. Not only did they enjoy hearing stories about the items, but they also helped decide which ones to donate or keep. This turned decluttering into a bonding experience and helped clear space for Tom's current needs. Tip: share your decluttering goals with family and friends and ask for their support when needed. Which of these strategies resonates most with you? Are you ready to try the one-in, one-out rule? Schedule regular decluttering sessions or create designated drop zones? Share your thoughts and plans in the comments. We'd love to hear how these tips are helping you create a more peaceful and organized home. If this video has inspired you, please like it and subscribe to our channel for more practical advice on living comfortably and clutter-free in your later years. Remember, every small step you take brings you closer to a home that feels calm, welcoming, and uniquely yours. Let's take this journey together. Clutter can sneak up on all of us, but with the right strategies, you can take control of your home and create a space that feels calm, organized, and welcoming. By identifying and addressing the 10 clutter culprits, like overcrowded surfaces, unused furniture, and sentimental items, you've already taken the first step toward reclaiming your living space. Remember, creating a clutter-free home isn't about achieving perfection. It's about making small, consistent changes that reflect your current lifestyle and bring you peace of mind. Whether it's implementing the one-in, one-out rule, scheduling regular decluttering sessions, or setting up designated drop zones, these habits can help you maintain an organized home without feeling overwhelmed. Now it's your turn. Which tip are you most excited to try? Are you ready to tackle an overcrowded closet, clear off your kitchen counters, or let go of those extra duplicates? Share your thoughts and progress in the comments. We'd love to hear how you're transforming your space. If this video inspired you, please like it and subscribe to our channel for more practical advice on creating a comfortable and clutter-free home. Together, let's embrace simplicity and enjoy the benefits of a space that truly feels like home. You've got this.